This is the WASD and Beyond podcast. Hello. It has been quite a while, my friends. I am so sorry about that. It's the WASD and Beyond podcast. This is the tallest speaking here, Matthew. Hosted with me, as always, is...
The shortest, Nick, which I am very short in person.
You are.
I'm
It's
not
kind of
even
funny.
like, the joke is going to be funnier once we introduce the episode, which I gave away on Twitter anyways, like I always do.
Yeah, it's not like it's going to be that big of a surprise.
No. How has the last 2 weeks been for you?
Busy. Very, very busy.
We can keep it like that because I already know how your last 2 weeks have been, but I'm keeping to the formula of the podcast. And it's like, we'll keep it at that. It's been busy. It's definitely been busy.
So, along with working extra hours, my roommate ended up moving out, and so I was helping him get his shit out. Been working extra hours, just haven't really had time for too much. When I do have free time, it's like, oh, I got to take care of this around the house, got to take care of this. Shit gets busy. It is what it is.
Yeah, on top of life being as chaotic as it already is, all of this shit lands in your lap, and it's like, oh man, it's like,
Right. And
I
then
felt so bad for you.
and then there's you with, your newborn. So like
Yeah,
even when I do have free time, that doesn't always line up with when you have free time.
well, exactly. So like
Like,
when
hey,
I,
it's 4
yeah,
a.m. I'm down to record, and you're like, no.
well, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm sure we could figure something out. So like, if he's like crashed out, get a good hour in, it's like, all right, success, we did it.
Yeah.
But it's always a hit or miss with that little guy. So
Yeah.
he's getting big. He's growing up. That's
It'll start to calm down here in the next year.
to where we're able to just pump out episodes, which I'm excited for that. The studio, we're gonna be getting that coming up soon.
Yes.
Very soon, I would say. Not very soon, but soon
Hopefully
enough.
soon. Yeah.
We'll be doing
I
a
would I
lot.
would I would like to have it ready and operational by the end of the year.
Yeah,
I think that's a good. I mean, that's 5 months.
not gonna be hard.
No, we can do
I
it.
wouldn't say so. We have one of the most expensive components already, which is a laptop. So that's a pretty expensive component that we have.
Right.
So yeah, get ready for that. We're gonna be making a lot more content when we get that room
Yes. Hopefully.
ready. Death Stranding is coming out for PC tomorrow.
Tomorrow? You mean today?
Today, technically, yes. Today would be Tuesday on the day we're recording. Stoked. I know I've already played it, but from what I've seen, they're doing, because they could do a lot more with the PC hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So they've like enhanced all the details in the game and like made it so it's wider, so you see more of like the environment and everything around you.
Right, the field
Because they
of
could
view.
just do more than they couldn't do on the PS4. So I watched a Kojima interview with Jeff Keighley today, and that was pretty good. I was pretty stoked on that.
That's cool. I'm interested to see that extra detail you're talking about in those invisible monsters.
Dude, actually, when you do see the monsters, they're sick. They're so sweet.
All right,
But
that's fair.
also, so Half-Life Final Hours came out. A little bit of a documentary-esque, interactive documentary on Steam by Jeff Keighley for Half-Life Alyx. It was fucking sweet. $10 on Steam. If you're a Half-Life fan, I would highly recommend you purchase the Final Hours Half-Life Alyx. It was super cool. Very, very fucking cool. A lot you learn. A lot of projects like Half-Life 3 that was scrapped. It kind of makes me sad to see all the games that were scrapped. Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3, a RPG that Valve was working on that would have
That could have
starred
been.
Axe from Dota. Like
Hmm.
Axe was going to be in or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Like so much shit that they had planned that it was just like it would get super far in development and just shut down.
that's interesting. That's weird.
Hey man,
It
it's crazy.
explains. I mean, that it does explain, like, their very long absence from making games.
Oh yeah, no, that explains it all in my opinion. I mean, if you work at Valve, the way it's explained in the documentary is that you're allowed to start your own projects.
Yeah,
So say like somebody wanted to make Half-Life 3, if they had Steam behind, not actual Steam, but like Steam, like people behind them, they can do it theoretically. They don't need permission to do it, which is fucking weird. But like obviously like eventually they have to go to Gabe and be like, "Look what we've done." And he goes, "Get this shit out of my face.
yeah.
Get this shit out of my face. I don't give a fuck."
This is not the Valve
It's not
perfection.
the Valve way.
No,
Did you, before we go into our main topic, did you see anything Far Cry or Assassin's Creed gameplay?
no. I
Okay.
heard that it got spoiled.
What did?
Well, like, as in they were announced.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, did that game get spoiled?
No,
Like The
no.
Last of Us 2?
There is. I think there's like um a small, like, trailer for Far Cry 6 that's
Yes, there is.
supposed to be coming out on, like, Saturday or something, but it's out now. I don't fucking know. I
Ubisoft,
don't
dude.
know. Yeah. Apparently, Ubisoft has a conference this weekend, so that's something I'm
Thought they
gonna
already had one
watch.
this week or this
Did they?
weekend.
I don't know.
It may have happened. I'm not
It
lying.
may have just passed. I think it might be this weekend coming up.
I'll
Maybe.
watch it just to see
Yeah.
because
I
it's
don't
kind
know.
of
Like I said,
it's
been
our
very
thing,
busy. Haven't been able to stay on top of this stuff.
right? So, is there anything gaming news you want to talk about before we head right into the episode?
I unfortunately have no gaming news, my friends.
To
Absolutely
preface
none.
this episode, it might be a shorter episode because we are crunched for time and we've been fucking super busy. So it may be a shorter episode. But coming along, like the episodes will go back to normal once everything starts going back normal in our lives. So just bear with us. Thank you for sticking by us. We see you out there still listening to our episodes, sharing us. It's awesome.
We love you
So,
guys. We love
oh,
you.
the amount of support has been dope to see. Um, so this week's episode is probably near and dear, I would say, to a lot of people's hearts when it comes to like shit you watched back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Because this is something that like I was in love with when I was a preteen to even teenager. This is something I fell in love with and I never stopped loving. And the creator of the show is somebody who is artistically so influential to me. Like everything he does, he could shit
Yeah, and you'd be
and
like,
draw.
look at this. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So the person I'm talking about is Jonan Vasquez. And Jonan Vasquez is the creator of a nice TV show called Invader Zim that was premiered on Nickelodeon and it got canceled.
It didn't get I mean,
It
technically,
got
yeah, it got
canceled.
canceled, but I mean, they had a good 3 season
Three
run.
season. Yeah, three
Like, when you
seasons.
look at it in scope, you're like, this probably wasn't too, like, okay for children.
No, it wasn't. And I think if it was on Adult Swim, it would have thrived.
Oh, it would have been incredible.
But it's if you look at it though, like Invader Zim is still it's still like a big show that people still talk about to this day. People loved the show.
Well, I mean, along with the show, there's now a movie on Netflix.
And that's what we're talking about today. Today's topic is the movie that came
Enter
out,
the Florpus.
Enter the Florpus, that came out when I was 27. So I waited that long for something new. I mean, we had the comic books that were sweet. I have a couple of them,
Mhm.
and they
Yep.
were fucking pretty dope. But I remember seeing the trailer. It just dropped one day. I
Yeah,
had
it was
heard on like 4chan and all that shit that like Invader Zim movie coming. I was like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
sure.
whatever. Yeah.
Jonan Vasquez doesn't want to do animation. He hates it. He hated it. And then it's like, oh no, shit. There's like a picture. Oh, there's a trailer. clicked the trailer, and I was just like, "Oh my god.
It didn't skip a beat. The movie did not skip a beat. It's
Oh
just
no."
incredible from, like, it's better than the show. It is.
If that's if it did really well. The movie did very well on
Oh,
Netflix.
yeah.
So if that's how the show will turn out to be, because supposedly now that they saw that they're still interested in it, which no fucking shit, but now that they see that they're still interested in Invader Zim, they are going to be doing like a Netflix Invader Zim type thing. Which, if that's the case, and
That
if that's how they treat it, like they did the movie, absolutely,
Yeah.
hands down. It was so. Let's start out. I want to start out before we get into like the story. I want to start out with the fucking vibrant animation and colors.
The
Like
color palette is just
it's
it
it's awe inspiring. It was literally beautiful.
not too many cartoons or, like, animations I see have such a diverse color palette with it's so vibrant yet so dark and gritty all at the same time.
Yeah, it was like all the disgusting shit because they always make humans so disgusting. But
Well,
even
we
like
are.
which we are, like even looking at like them and like all the shit around them and like the environment, like you said, like you could see all the dirt and dust and grime, and then like you look at like Gurr and like not much has changed. Not much has changed in these characters. Well, we'll talk about one character in specific in a moment, but you look at all their like the updated color palette just makes them pop.
Yeah, just
It
it's just
makes
that good.
it
That
just
much
makes them
better.
all pop. And like not only the color palette and the animation, like because the animation was so smooth. It was so fucking smooth. Like there's a couple times where I'm like, oh, that was a bit of a mess up right there. But like, I, who am I to fucking be a bitch about that? Like, I don't give a shit. The voice acting was still fucking incredible. You could tell, like, you can tell the entire time they had a blast. Like they got to revisit their children, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I would hate to be. I think his name is Ricky Horvitz, who plays Invader Zim. Horowitz. I don't know how to say his last name, but like Ricky something. And to play Zim, fuck that.
Which is
That's that.
all of the, like, weird mannerisms that he has. Yeah.
Well, just all the screaming. Like the
The
entire movie was him
maniacal laughter
screaming.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
it's definitely gotta be hell on the actual voice.
your throat is shredded at the end of that workday.
Right. But it paid off though. I mean, it's incredible. I gotta stop saying that, but, at the same time, it's a fucking this movie, it's a 10 out of 10. Like, come on.
We we've watched it 4 times together now.
I've watched it, like, 10 times total now.
It,
Not exaggerating. It's
the movie,
that good.
it's fucking so good, and I like that they didn't because I do want to talk about the story and like some the characters in general, but I'm happy they didn't bow down in any way, like
Like Pander.
because, huh?
Like Pander.
Yeah, it wasn't just like you could tell it like it kids can watch it, but it wasn't for kids
No,
specifically
it's for the people that watch the TV show, and now it's,
who are now in
you
their
know,
late 20s. They're literally in their late
us,
20s.
yeah.
Like it felt like it was for me. It didn't feel like it was a dumbed down version of Invader Zim. It's Netflix, so like usually they hit the mark, but with something like Invader Zim, it's like it's gonna make you a little bit weary because like the reason why it was canceled was it was getting good numbers on Nickelodeon, but it still like was inappropriate for children, is what people were saying. Like they were bitching. So like when you see this happening and like them making the movie, you kind of get a little nervous. Like, okay, well, are they gonna fucking pander to just children?
Yeah.
Which is not Jonan Vasquez's style because
Not
he
at
doesn't
all.
care.
Nope.
He does not fucking care. Um, it just like you said, it didn't skip a beat from the beginning to the last fucking frame of that movie. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah. Um,
Incredible.
I wanna point out, and I think I've made this joke before, but I still wanna know who at Nickelodeon saw Jonan's previous work, JTHM, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and was like, You deserve a kids show.
I see. That's explained in an interview somewhere. Jordan talks about that in an interview.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be
After
interesting to see
that'll
because
be
you have something clearly not made for children. They're like, do that, but for kids.
even Squee. Squee was not for children.
No.
None of Jonan's early work should be read by somebody who is under the age of 18. And I was reading that shit when I was 12. Like, that's a whole other episode. We will talk about Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. That is one of my favorite graphic novels, and it happens to be one of Matt's favorite graphic novels too. That is one of the best.
Very good.
But
Very
yes,
good. Very good, my friend.
I don't know. I don't know which exec at Nickelodeon, like you said, was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Give this guy it. Because he was fucking just as shocked as we are. He's probably like,
It's like,
okay,
yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
he gets fucking high. And it shows in Invader Zim, even the movie, where it's like, there's a couple scenes where I'm like, holy fuck,
Yeah,
man.
it's like that's kind of dark.
Yeah. So like the the be- the fucking beginning anime intro.
Oh yeah, I'm Dib, and I'm here to save
I'm
the world. Like
12
all the
years old.
yeah,
Like
he's all buffed up, big guy. Yeah, I
cover
actually, I'm not gonna lie, I would actually be really interested to see like an episode of Invader Zim drawn in that like anime style because the way it portrayed Zim was kind of fucking gnarly.
and Gur. Gur looked sweet too.
I don't remember.
It shows Gur and
Yeah,
Minnie Moose. You'll have to look. Which
yeah, I would just need to brush up on that. Just
yeah,
small details that you miss.
there's every time you watch it's like, oh,
You
that's
catch
new.
something new. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's new. Like little things. I just love the Justin Roiland as the food robot was also amazing. Foodio 3000, I
Yeah.
think. Like
This
Foodio
is
loves
made with
like
love. What is love?
yeah, it's like what is love? Like all those like little quick jokes are like so fucking good. And when you finally see real Dib, just fucking this lard, fat, grotesque monster fused to a computer chair.
Yeah, he's a
How like
chair.
people think we are probably. Like I was like, oh man, that kind of hits close to home. And then Gaz just throws the pan at the door and just like this disgusting wave of stink. She's
Yeah.
like, you're hideous. He's like,
I like
I
when he's
can't
like,
leave
I
my
need to
post.
leave. We need to go. And she's like, no, take a shower. Take a
The
shower.
the world's not ready for this. And like
Oh,
just like Zim when he finds he's like, go on, grotesque human. He's like, I am Dib. He's like, huh? She's like,
oh, oh. And Dib's like, we know each other, man.
dude, that was awesome. I like the whole idea that this is a dark theme. Professor Membrane's a bad dad, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's a terrible father. Like that's
That's
what the
not
movie's
very
about.
scientific, son.
The, that's what the movie's about. It's Professor Membrane's a bad father. Like
Yeah.
I don't. It's dark. That's terrifying.
He's got excellent delivery, though.
Oh, the whole shark joke.
It's
I
like
know
it's so
better now.
yeah. I used to think sharks are my friend. I know better
He's
now.
just got a robotic arm because a shark bit his arm off. Like it's just the most absurd shit, dude. Then
Yeah.
there's like all these like hilarious one-liners and just kind of nods back to the show here and there.
Yeah, there's enough references to where like if you were a fan, you're gonna pick up on it. If you're not a fan, it's still just a good joke, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Well, I was really stoked to see that they brought Minnie Moose back because like Minnie Moose gets introduced in like the third season and in like
Okay.
one of the last episodes, and I was like, oh, that's a cool little character. Is that like the new Gur? Is that like Gur's buddy? Show ends, and I was like, I guess I'll never know. He was kind of cool though. And then like the whole movie just revolves around Minnie Moose at one point, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it's a bit of a plot twist with Minnie Moose, way more important than you would actually believe.
I was just like, oh, okay. Like, because I wasn't expecting that. I was like, okay, cool. Like, they're gonna show all these characters, Dib, Gaz, Membrane, Mini Moose, the tallest, the Urkin Armada, which we'll get into the Urkin Armada, the tallest, and all them. That's phenomenal. Um, I was like, okay, they're gonna do some nod backs, and it's like, holy fuck, no, they really thought this out.
Yeah,
There's a reason these characters are here, and it also felt intelligent with every little thing they did, every little setup they did to progress the story and to um just deliver on the jokes. Like they brought Tack back, Tack's ship. And I was
yeah,
like, oh, okay, that's been in Dib's garage since like season 2. Like, are they
still
really
there.
gonna? It's still there. Like everything was still in place from the show. It like all felt so fluid. Like it just like I said, it never skipped a beat. And it's like,
No.
dude, like that's awesome because it's not like a Family Guy type thing where it's like everything else is ignored and it's a whole new thing today.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
the consequences from the last season are still here.
Yeah, they're still part of the movie.
Right. And it's like, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like, since the show's been canceled, Dib has just sat in his room trying to find Zim.
It's been like what, like 9 years,
Something like
something
that.
like yeah. It's
And he's
been
just
a
been sitting in his room.
yeah,
And like
waiting for Zim. But then Zim was just hiding in his toilet the whole fucking time.
that was the funniest. And I guess Jonan was really pissed about that because that was a part of the teaser. Like that part of the teaser trailer was just Zim in the toilet laughing.
Oh,
And
really?
Jonan
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
he was like, that's great. You just ruined one of the jokes. He was like bummed out. He's like, that was one of my favorite jokes in the movie. You guys showed it because it's a good joke.
It is, especially with Dib's like, "Wait, you were just in your house in the toilet that whole time?"
Yes.
He's like, "Yes." Like, "Did you have to be in the toilet? Do not question the ways of my people." He's like pointing with his foot and
Uh-huh,
shit.
uh-huh. Dude, like all those like quick deliveries and like those weird animations. Like
Mhm.
his Zim's foot just like curves over and points. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
so that way he can do like a triple point. It's
It's
the
like like
who
how did
thinks
you
of that?
just think about this? And like how did you nail it so perfectly?
In all fairness, if I was that flexible, I would point at people with my toes all the
I'd be
time.
using my toes all the time, dude. I'd be like,
Yeah,
fuck yourself, dude. I ain't
yeah,
using my hands no more. Um I think one of my favorite jokes is, and this is we're not saving you from a spoiler in this. I'm going to spoil the movie because you should already see this. But one of my
spoilers.
favorite
Yeah,
one of my favorite things is two of them actually. The depression scene
yeah,
when
yeah.
Zim is just a depressed mess because
He's
he doesn't remember phase 2.
it's not that
I
he's
thought he
not. It's that after he goes into the depression thing when he finds out that the Urkin Armada isn't
oh,
actually
they're not
going
coming to
near.
Earth.
Right, he's just like way the fuck out there, and he's just like in the giant pile of nachos, like.
Dude, that looked like heaven to me, honestly. Just being in a big ass pile of nachos like that, I'd be stoked. That was one of my favorite lines because he's just like, yeah, whatever. He's just slouched in a pile of cheese. And then like another one of my favorite quick jokes. It was a quick joke. If you missed it, you missed it. When they're breaking when they're breaking out of the space jail, and they're like, "Oh, I guess only you guys can fit in that pod. All right, see you later." It's like they clearly had enough room for all the aliens to get out of jail. They're like, the one alien's just like, "Oh, I guess only you guys are fitting in there." They just zoom out.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, I
so
like that.
sarcastic. It's yeah,
Back to that depression scene.
yeah,
I, it makes me die every time. Is when he's like explaining Clembrain. And he's like, I thinking he could just, replace your dad.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but I couldn't get him to make pudding the way that you like. It ruined the illusion.
It ruined the illusion. He's like, I don't
It's just
even
like I
like
don't even
pudding.
like pudding. It's just the stupidest thing, but the delivery just sticks with me. It's like my
He,
favorite fucking joke of the whole movie.
it's the way he says illusion.
I know. He's like
It's just
screaming
so
it.
fucking funny.
Oh
Like,
fuck.
dude, that whole like Clembrain like scene, like not scene because it's obviously like Clembrain also.
Is a
Which
very big part of the movie.
if you don't know what Clembrain is, just look it up. You're gonna be fucking like, okay.
Yeah.
Like a
Speaking of
he looks like a
Clembrain,
fish, dude.
speaking of Clembrain, his fucking mannerisms. He's just like, "Oh, I love you, sweet. Stay in school."
Yeah,
It's like,
he like has like
what just
fucking
happened to you? He has like a
epi-
stroke.
epileptic like fucking strokes. Oh, by the way, the voice actor for Zim is Richard Stephen Horvitz. That's who it is. I wanted to clarify on that. He also played Billy from Billy and Mandy. But
Yeah, I see
this
that.
this is an
Yep.
Invaders Zim episode. Um, dude, Clembrain rules. I like Clembrain a lot. Like
What?
the way he talks too is just so.
You want to put some science pudding on that?
I made the pudding if I like it. It's like what the like how this become pudding? It's always food jokes too. It's always like waffles, like
Yeah, with
pudding, pizza.
pizza. Yeah.
They show Bloaty, the pizza hog, at one point,
Hmm.
and that like kills me. Because I didn't think they were gonna bring that character back for like no reason, and just like a commercial with Bloaty on it. I'm like, dude, I love Bloaty, the pizza
I
hog.
don't. Yeah, I don't remember that. So I don't remember
It's
him.
it's one of those quick little, and it's gone. But like if you rewatch it, be like, oh, there's Bloaty the pizza hog.
Yeah.
Why did they bring Bloaty the pizza hog?
No, no. I'm saying I know what scene you're talking about. I don't
Yeah.
remember him as like I don't remember him from the TV show. 'Cause
Oh, really?
I don't. It's been so long since I've seen the TV show. I don't remember most of it. You
And
know.
that's like a thing I think that happened to a lot of people with this movie. I think a lot of people were like, "Fuck, I want to watch the movie, but should I revisit the show?"
You
And to
don't need
that,
to.
I would say no, you don't have to.
No.
If you want to, do it. It's obviously a lot of fun to revisit Invader Zim because it's just fun. It's a fun show,
Yeah,
but
it's
like
Invader Zim.
you don't have to for the movie. I would say watch the movie first and then go back if you enjoyed the movie thoroughly.
Right.
So, but like they pretty much got the entire original cast, which is fantastic. And no, dude, it was just a fucking home run, man. Like it was a 10 out of 10 movie. Netflix fucking killed it with this. Like how could you not? You know, like you have Jonan Vasquez back working on it. You have the entire team back working on it. And it just it if it was perfect. The Invaders Zim movie was literally fucking perfect, and I cannot wait to see if they're doing a show or another movie. I'll take anything.
Yeah. Like, please,
So,
please, give another movie, please.
but
Um,
like, yeah, what are you gonna say?
can we talk about near the end where the the animation of when the different realities are colliding?
That is such a chaotic scene.
Oh yeah, so much is happening so fast.
So, like, do you want to explain why it's happening?
So Zim's evil plan is basically to transport Earth after he finds out that the Urkan Armada isn't going to Earth. Transport Earth to the Urkan Armada. Simple enough, right? So doing that creates a florpus hole in the sky, which is like a tear in the universe.
It's
Um,
something.
I love the banter from his computer. He's like, computer, what is that?" He's like, "It's a deadly florpuscle created by the stupid, the stupid actions of teleporting an entire planet."
We forgot to mention that the computer is just a smart computer is just a smart ass the
Oh yeah,
entire fucking movie.
he was being like when he was being sarcastic, and Zim's like, "Is that an accent?" He's like, "Go get bored."
They get bored. Yeah.
Um, but no, so near the end, all of the surrounding planets at that point are being sucked into the Florpus hole and they're smashing into each other and realities start colliding. And then all of a sudden, like you see them and it's just going through all of these different like styles of art and cinema,
Which is
along with
awesome.
even like actual like storyboard drawings.
Marionette puppets.
Yeah.
Like the puppets were hilarious. It was
Yeah.
quick. So it's like, how much did you spend on that?
Right.
Those fucking
Uh
puppets.
There's like two scenes with just like a bunch of puppies, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, the puppies are awesome. Like that entire scene, because of the floor piss, is so fucking awesome. It's
It's
just like the creativity, man. It's just so different. Like you don't see that type of shit. You don't see like shows really doing that kind of like, well, let's just throw this here and here. Why?
mhm,
Just because fuck it. That's why. Like
right.
make it crazy. And I like how the tallest and the Armada could have avoided
They're just
being
stubborn.
killed if they would have just went up and around. but they don't. They're too lazy to do it, so they just go in a straight line through space.
Yeah,
That's
they
why they
refuse to not go in a straight line. That's it. Also, they
like.
really hate Zim because
Oh
they're more
yeah,
concerned about Zim being around than entering into a deadly florpus hole.
they'd just rather be that far from Zim. The invader Jim, I like that guy.
No,
I
Jim
hate
brings us
Zim.
the donuts.
It's
Oh,
Jim
we
brings.
love Jim. Zim. Oh yeah, I hate him.
I hate him. Like the amount of detest for Zim in
Yeah.
this is just so insane.
I also think that was a really well done way to like set up the exposition for those who weren't aware of the show and like the backstory. Where
Yeah,
they're just like, hey, remember that time where we hated Zim and we just sent him off to this random planet and then like just went into basically the whole backstory and
yeah, right. Quick.
just like that as a funny joke and it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
and then
it's
it
just
was
like
just like pretty much over. It was
yeah. If you
good.
didn't watch the show, here you go.
Right,
This
exactly.
is what happened, which
So
is great.
yeah, I think it was actually a really well done job for segueing and like exposition.
Oh yeah, like I said, the entire movie felt super thought out.
Yeah.
And we're probably super wrong about it being thought out. They're probably just like,
No.
"Oh, I didn't even think about it."
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, there is a part that is not super well thought out, and that's when um Zim gets like the laboratory just like right outside of Dib's house, which was not there before.
They didn't
And now
care.
all
They
of a
even
sudden
called attention to it. He's like, "Where are
No.
you?" Look outside. It's just there,
It's like, wait, I think I know where that is. Why are you outside? Why are
dude.
you on my lawn?
And all the kids just have to hold. I like how it's so treacherous for a large group of those kids to try to hold hands. There's just
Oh yeah, they're
open
jumping
ground,
over volcanoes, they're fighting off sharks, like earthquakes and shit. Like
dude.
they really want world peace.
I like the bra- I like how they explain the updates for the bracelet.
Yeah.
This update seems a bit alive.
Yeah.
Yes, it was super. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad they did it. Um,
Yeah.
man, I hope another one comes out.
There there's no way that they're not gonna do something else with it, right?
They have to. It's fucking Zim, dude. You have
Mhm.
to. There's so much content there. There really is.
Can we gloss over how hilarious and adorable Gur is? Because he hasn't changed at all.
I love that they didn't change Gur. What I don't like about Gur is how much that's all everyone wants to talk about when they talk
Yeah.
about Invader Zim, and it's super unfortunate. Gur is a great character, but
He
ha-
has I give him merit in the movie. I give
he
him
was he
merit.
was great in the movie.
Yeah.
Gur was great, and he wasn't overdone.
No.
It was a perfect amount of Gur, but people just all those cringy people
The Hot Topic kids.
love Gur, and it's dude, I like your Gur tattoo, but I don't know, man. You really got the words waffles on you under Gur tattooed on you. I don't know about that. You do you, and I love Gur. And when I was 12, I wanted a Gur tattoo,
I
but I
mean that
didn't do it when I grew up. And there's a reason I didn't get Gur tattooed on me. Like, but he was great in the movie. Like,
I love when he's going to go to combat and he's got his little horse and he's riding off all heroically and
which
literally
just
just
comes out of nowhere, by
a
the way.
gust of wind just knocks him over and he just
He
slide
flies
off.
into the florpus.
It's
Gur's
great.
just gone. It just gets sucked into this black hole. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's one thing that the movie does really well is your expectation subversion.
Yes.
Because like for instance with the ham, it's like this big battle, like look, I have this magical powerful ham, and it's going through all this like anime power up scenes, like
Yeah.
"Quah!" And then it's just throws it.
Well, they bring attention to it, so they're like, by the way, this ham's gonna come back later on in the story, and it's gonna be something. And it's like, no, it's
Oh yeah,
not.
here's that ham.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there it is, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they brought it. They really did keep to the ham. They brought the ham back. I was like, there's no way they did that. That was sweet. You all right, buddy?
Yeah.
Just
Laughing too
dying a
much.
little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay. We're
I
all dying
coughed
a
up a
little bit.
little bit of the beer, then I was choking on it, and just yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
This is a disaster. Actually, this episode's going well, but yeah, no, that the fucking ham. They, I just they're. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I can't. I just can't say it enough. I'm happy with it because it made resemble such a big part of like my teenage life, and a lot of like my humor came from that, like
Oh
that
yeah.
style of humor. So like, I was like the weird kid, so that was my humor. So like to see it come back and still be weird and still like bring it back to those times where I'm like, oh, I'm still that weird fucking dude who loves that kind of humor. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see more from it, but I would also love to see Netflix take a chance on uh s- other stuff that Jonan's done though. Like I would love to see a Netflix adaptation of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Yeah, that would be I can actually picture it too as more of like an actual like animated reading through a comic of it
Right.
instead of it being like an actual like animated film. It would be more choppy as if like you're flipping through pages and more like stop motion comic
So kind
strip
of
style.
so kind of how like the Max was done on MTV's Oddities. I don't know if you remember. It was kind of like that. It wasn't like
Never watched it.
complete animation. That's going to be an episode one day. See, we're going to have to watch it together. But I get what you're saying. But I could also see like a full fledged animated JTHM film or
Yeah, I
show
mean,
or something like
that'd be
Squee.
awesome too.
Squee was supposed to happen and they got canceled.
I don't think I've finished Squee. I need
You
to.
should. Squee's
Yeah.
great. Squee is also fucking amazing.
I feel so
Um,
bad for that little fucking kid.
poor
It's
Todd.
just yeah, the
Poor
worst
Todd.
fucking the worst life.
That's
Like,
like, and you know that's totally like Jonan's like inner child that he's drawing. He's just like all the fears he has like coming
yeah.
to life. But yeah, no, dude, it was awesome seeing Dib work out so much. Where he's like, what was the how the line
Oh
go?
yeah, so he was quote unquote a chair, right? Because he was like
He was chair
glued to
Dib.
it and he was fat and everything and like couldn't get out of the chair. And then he works out way too much and he's on like steroids. And so he's like, I was out of shape and then I was too in shape and now I'm in normal shape. Or
He
something
like
like that.
throws the little weights and they just go through the fucking like wall.
Um One thing to bring up is well, not really anything to bring up, but just another little, talking point.
Yeah,
Was what you had brought up about Jonah and like the backlash for Dib being like just slightly fucking darker. Like
I
literally like he just got a spray tan and apparently the internet was in like outrage over it.
I think that's what Jonan originally wanted, anyways. Though I think he
Yeah,
because
I mean
like Dib is totally supposed to be Jonan
it's
as
supposed
well.
to be him and
Hispanic.
he is not a Caucasian person. Yes.
No, he's like a. I think I don't know if he's Mexican. He's a California dude, man.
Yeah.
He's. You look at Jonan. He's Hispanic. Like Dib is supposed to be a little bit of Jonan. I think like
No,
the
he is
weirder side. Yeah,
100% right, just like Johnny is also a part of Jonan, and so is Squee. They're all
yeah,
just
absolutely.
different, like, versions of him.
Yeah, and don't. Oh my god, people bitching about that are so stupid and ignorant. It's like, dude, it's still Dib. Like it's still fucking Dib. Like he does all the same shit. Gaz is the same Gaz. She's still badass.
Yeah. I like
Membrane, huh?
speaking of Gaz, and
Yeah,
there's that part where, Dib is working out and he's still the chair, and she's just in the back just
just
jamming, riffing on
shredding.
the guitar, yeah.
I think that was a Mad Max reference. There was a Mad Max reference in that movie.
There was a few, I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like, dude, Gaz rules, and like the whole shredding was awesome on the guitar, and then Membrane.
Mhm.
Like, I do still like the character of Professor Membrane, but you just realize how shitty of a person he is throughout this entire movie. You're like, God damn, dude, just love your son. That's
Well,
all. Just
he has that heartwarming moment at the end, you know?
well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's that hard work, but I think Membrane's other than the shark moment is when he's like. what did that guy, the guy in the audience, he says something. He's like, not scientifically possible.
Yeah, it's like, I promise you, nobody's more excited about Peace Day than I am. And then some dude from like the nosebleeds is like, I am, and he
Yeah,
just fucking is there.
he
Like,
just
not
snaps.
scientifically possible.
Dude, it just
It's just
fucking
great.
goes off on dude. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Fucking, but like Zim's disguise is still so bad too.
Yeah.
When he disguised himself, I'm like, oh my fucking god! It's like the Christmas episode when Zim's Santa Claus. It's really like this inflatable Santa Claus suit,
And
and
then
it's
his
just Zim's
face.
face. It's the
Right.
same thing in this. I was like, this is perfect. This is fucking perfect.
So that other guy just retired, and
Oh my god!
and just no one even questions it. They're just like, the bracelet's in 4 colors. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all fucking losing their shit. Oh my god! If you have not seen the Invader Zim movie, please, 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 it's on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, that's a lie because you could steal anybody's Netflix account. You have a mom, don't you? Well, maybe you don't. I don't know what you have in your life, but
Jeez. Good Lord. No.
God, oh man, really
Oh,
biffed that one up. You have somebody who has Netflix. We all do.
everyone does.
Yeah. So, is there any? God damn it.
Yeah.
Is there any other talking points on Zim you want to do tonight?
P- I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one, and I missed it.
How'd you miss it, bud?
I don't know. Okay, we jumped around a lot. It's what we
We
do.
did. We
We
did. We did.
always, literally, every time we ever record anything, the moment we get done, we're like, "Oh fuck!"
Dude, every time. And it's always
Lit-
something big. It's like, God damn it. I know
It's
people are gonna hate us for that.
it's either that or when we're talking about like video game news, and we're like, "Oh, we'll have to see," and then like 2 days later, it's like, "Oh yeah, there's the answer."
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
or yeah, or like a big piece of news is dropped. It's like, fuck, dude.
right.
But like, I don't know, man. Like I said, go see this movie. Watch Invaders in the movie. And if you I would highly suggest rewatching the show after watching the movie. I would highly suggest it. It made me fall right back in love with the show. Why I love the show and just all like those like little things like you don't get as a child or even a preteen.
Hmm.
And like now in my late 20s, I'm like, oh shit. That's what they were saying? And you're like, holy fuck. It's like there's just so much. And Invader Zim's definitely gonna be the series, not the movie. The series is gonna be a longer episode. That'll probably be like almost a 2 hour episode. But
Yeah.
like that in itself will be an episode. JTHM will be an episode. Like those are gonna be long episodes. So get ready for those episodes. We have other episodes planned for this week as well, hopefully next week as well. But yeah, I mean that's all I gotta say on the movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of blinking, so I think we're good.
It's been a long 2 weeks, guys. It's been super hectic. We're trying to keep with it and not miss weeks like we have, but we do appreciate everyone really really sticking by us. And we do have some cool things planned out with some cool content creators that we are
Yes.
super fucking stoked about. Super excited for. As well as I don't know. I've thought crossover episodes would be really fun too. So Matt and I are
Hmm.
going to talk about that eventually. But
We'll get there one day. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
We
But
always said that getting the new equipment was priority number one. Once we get that, then we can worry about other stuff. You know.
oh yeah, buddy. But there, just get ready. There's going to be some cool content. There's going to be a lot of cool shit coming down once we get the studio up. Once life starts not kicking us in our swinging nut sacks, we'll be okay. Never fucking ends, dude. With that being said, thank you guys for listening this week. I'll give a quick couple shout outs. That's it. You know where to find me if you listen to the episodes. If not, go to the last episode. I'm not giving you my Twitter handles again this week. Check out Loser Podcast, YOLO Cast, NDFX, obviously with the Famicon. I can't miss those dudes. Diggity and Couch Play Cousins. That's it. No, Fat Drunk and Stupid. I love that guy too. Hilarious. Um, those are my shout outs. Thank you for listening to me. I've been your host, Nick. Matt, what do you guys say, baby?
I got nothing to say.
Nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
No Twitter handles and nothing for you?
I don't.
Go back.
I
Listen to
can't
the
even. I can't.
backlog.
Yeah, I can't even. I can't remember the last time I used Twitter.
Listen to the fucking backlog. Give us some plays. Share us with your friends. Rate us on Apple. Follow us on Spotify.
Please.
Thank you guys again. We promise we're gonna try not to miss weeks again, and we're gonna be on our shit next episode. That's gonna be a fun episode. Be there. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Love you guys. Bye.